Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. If you're first time here, I think you would probably know who I am from the 7.5 documentary and my book, Betrayal in Blue. I'm Ken Eurell. I do some Q&As that you guys send in from anything from personal stuff to things that happen in the documentary in my career. Also comment on corruption in police departments across mostly the United States, but some across the world. We got one story about London cops today. So also please check the links below in the description. And I think there's still time in to get, if you want Christmas gifts, t-shirts, coffee mugs, things like that. Let's get into the first story. The first story is about an Ohio cop. He's a 17-year veteran. His name is Jason Mead. He's charged with murder. It's come this month. I think it was December 4th. They charged him as a year after the fatal shooting. It was back in December of last year, 2020. Jason was on a marshal task force. He was out. They were looking for a suspect. They did not find the suspect. On the way back to headquarters, he saw a victim. He's now considered a victim. He was a suspect at the time. He saw a person, let's put it like that. He saw a person, a suspicious person. There you go. He saw a suspicious person pointing a weapon at another driver while driving down the road. He followed this person, pulled him over, and the person got out of the car. Person was walking away, and Officer Mead repeated multiple times, drop the weapon, let me see your hands, let me see your hands. There is a witness, ear witness. This witness did not see the shooting, but he confirmed that the commands were heard. He heard the commands that Officer Mead put out. According to Officer Mead, the suspect, now victim, since Officer Mead is charged with murder, is started to turn on him with the gun in his right hand. Officer Mead fired 6 rounds. 5 of them entered the suspect's victim's back. There was a gun found at the scene. Like I said, there was a witness that confirmed the commands being shouted. Gun is found on the scene. A year later, for whatever reason, they decided, probably because he was shot in the back. And I'm assuming from times, also from experience, from times being out there, people with guns do walk away from you. And if you think they're motioning to turn towards you, you could shoot them. I mean, you're justified. I would think you're justified in shooting them. You can't wait till the person turns and shoots you. You know, if you're in fear for your life, you got to shoot. Officer Mead fired, and the gun was found at the scene. There's already a civil lawsuit against the department and Officer Mead. FBI is also investigating the case. They have not brought charges yet for civil rights charges, whatever it would be, that they're investigating federally. There are no body cams, no cameras, no nothing. And it's not like he had a body cam turned off. That department did not have body cams at the time. I believe they still don't have body cams. So they decided to charge him with murder. And we'll see what goes on with that. I would think that he's going to beat the charges. I mean, he didn't do nothing wrong. There's a gun found at the scene. And the family of the suspect victim states he didn't have a gun. He had a Subway sandwich. But they do admit that he had a license to carry a weapon. And apparently that's the weapon that was found at the scene. So I don't know why they're saying he didn't have a weapon, but they're trying to say it was a Subway sandwich he was carrying. Maybe he was carrying a Subway sandwich also. It's possible. But it's pretty distinctive, a weapon and a Subway sandwich. And Officer Mead says the weapon was in his right hand, and there is a witness claiming he heard Officer Mead say he dropped a weapon. Now, I could see if he yelled these commands, drop the weapon, let me see your hands, and there was no gun found at the scene, different story. Charge him with the murder. I tend more to believe Officer Mead's viewpoint on this. We'll see what a jury says if it ends up going to a jury. Okay, next story is Putnam. This is some story. Putnam County, New York, Brewster Police Department. Officer Wayne Pfeiffer. He was arrested with six, I think it was 5 civilians, 6 total. So it would be the officer and 5 civilians. 6 total people were arrested in a sex trafficking ring, bringing up women from Mexico up to Putnam County to perform in a prostitution ring. This ring has been going on for 20 years, since 2002, I believe they said. So it's almost 2022, 20 years, 20 years, the end of 19 years, 20 years. Officer Wayne Pfeiffer was released on a $300,000 bond. He was, according to the prosecution, involved, not for the full 20 years, but involved with the last 6 years of bringing these women up here and protecting the ring, letting them know of any investigations going on, basically what cops do when they get involved with ongoing crimes. They have 400 text messages to him and eyewitnesses testifying against him. So he's probably going to end up pleading guilty, I would assume. His payout was not money. His payout in this whole operation was sex with the girls they brought up. Some of the girls were underage also, so he's probably in quite a bit of trouble. We'll see what happens with that. That also just recently happened. So I'm thinking he's probably going to plead guilty to lesser charges if he can, if they offer it to him. All right, now what I alluded to at the beginning, London cops. 2 London cops. They get placed on a scene of 2 DOAs, 2 dead bodies. They were not investigating the scenes. They're just there to safeguard the scene until the investigators could arrive, or the medical examiner, whatever it is. These cops took photos of, they were stabbing victims. There was 2 sisters. They were stabbing victims, took photos of these stabbing victims, and then released them on the internet in some WhatsApp group that they belong to and some other group. They were arrested and they were charged with official misconduct of public officials. They were sentenced to 2 years and 9 months. I think that's a little heavy-handed, but that's what they pled guilty, and that's what they were charged to. I would think that maybe that would only be internal charges, taking the photos and releasing them. Going back to when I was on the job in the 80s, there was obviously no social media, but guys took photos of dead bodies all the time. They had dead body albums. They would get a photo album and place all these DOA photos in an album. It was just death photos, one after another of jobs that they went on. Not really different from what these 2 cops did, except it's obviously not released to the public because there was no real public back then. So that's basically the 3 stories I have for you guys. The London cops, their name is Dinesh Jaffer, Jaffer, he was 47, and Jamie Lewis, 33. So they obviously both lost their jobs, and they're going to prison for almost 3 years for this. So obviously, guys will think twice about doing anything like that again. You know, the guys that are connected to this, and the whole thing. You know, people ask me, you know, the Q&As. A lot of people want to know, why do I do this channel? Why do I do this story? Just think of the 3 stories I just told you. Have you heard of any of them? No. This is, I looked these things up and I researched them. This is not out there in the public. Cops are getting arrested. You know, it's not the everyday cop out there doing his job, doing the right thing every day. Those things don't make the news either. these stories don't really make the news. You'll hear of obviously the George Floyd cases and things like that, but these stories you don't really hear of. So I'm sharing them with you. Clearly, you guys, you don't like the stories. You don't have to tune into the channel, and you don't have to listen to them. And the other thing was the word, why am I doing this? Because they think I'm making a lot of money doing this. I'm not making no money. You need like tens and thousands, hundreds of thousands of subscribers to make money on YouTube doing these things. I'm making no money doing this, believe me. The other question was about my tattoos. They wanted to know what was my most meaningful tattoos and important tattoos to me. Clearly, every time I gotten a tattoo in the past, they had some meaning to me at those points. I have my children's names, my nieces and nephews' initials, and various family members who have passed away. The most important ones to me, obviously, have come recently. Just before my wife passed away, we had celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary, and after 35 years, you pretty much have given each other every possible anniversary gift, Christmas gift, and birthday gift possible. So I tattooed on my ring finger my wife's name and the date we were married, as a memento, remembrance of our marriage, 35 years of marriage. She told me it meant the most to her out of any gift I ever gave her. So obviously that one's a very important tattoo to me. And I also have her initials tattooed on my chest over my heart. So those are two of the more important ones to me, but they're all important. They all bring me back to a time to when I got the tattoo, time in my life, what I was doing, and who I was with, who was with me when I got the tattoo. So that's basically what I have for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed the story. Hit some comments up for me and share it on your social media. Remember to like the video. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate you guys coming in. And look forward to doing the next one, probably after New Year's.